going on, everybody? It's Thursday. It's Tim Vip Live. I'm Perry. I'm the host of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. I apologize for being a little bit late. Today's been crazy. Just like my hair. My hair is wild. What is going on? I felt like I sat down and it wasn't this bad, and as soon as I hit go live, it just went nuts. I don't know. It's fine. But it's good to be here. It's good to be back on Tim Vip. If you're watching on the replay and you haven't done so already, please do hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you are unsubscribed, yeah, sorry, Darren. I just brought it down. Why was everything so large? Why did it change my... Excuse me. Changed my style. Show headlines. It's true, I am the host of Tim Bib. I don't know. It was very strange. I've never seen that before. Anyway. We're going to get into it in just a bit. We're not doing any news tonight. I didn't have anything that I was going to talk about news-wise. We are just doing a good old-fashioned drinking stream this evening, because that's the kind of week that we have had here in the Ritter family. I'm a little tapped out from the news, as I'm sure a lot of folks are. So we're just gonna have a good time. Camera angle's a little bit different. I apologize, but I had to switch things around when old Chad Perkins of It's Bourbon Night came over to record this week. He was filling in for Eric, who was sick. We've got another guest on the podcast this coming week, but Eric will be back for that. So tune in for that and listen to this week's episode of the podcast if you haven't done so already. But that's not particularly why we are here this evening. Gonna need more than a few drinking streams in the immediate future? Yes. We will do more drinking streams. We got two bottles that we're going to be reviewing tonight, talking about. Both from Central Kentucky. And both, one pretty immediately new that I have just not had the chance to review yet, and the other one that has been out for a few months. But I have actively avoided because, I just have not... I have not gotten around to picking up because of just the way that I've perceived this brand over the past few years. But I look forward to trying it. I do look forward to trying it regardless. So we'll check it out. We'll get there. But in the meantime, if you want to support the show, you can do so by heading to patreon.com/mybourbonpodcast for as little as $1 a month, and for as little as $5 a month. There are bonus podcasts over there that come out every week. Early access to This Is My Bourbon Podcast as well, uncut and unfiltered. This week's Uncut was a little bit lighter on the bonus content just because Chad was under a crunch for getting the episode recorded this week. So Eric and I will make sure to record some extra bonus stuff for you all over on Patreon. And then also, if you want to support 10-Bip Live as it is happening in real color, you can do so by heading to the Stream Elements link in the description below. I'll also drop it in the chat. It's streamelements.com/this is my bourbon podcast/tip. And doing what we call snuffy chats. Or tipping. Hang on. Let me pin it. There we go. But anyway, goes to support the patron saint of 10-Bip Live, Mr. Snuffleupagus back here. As decided upon by the 10-Bip Live community. Way back in the day. Way back in the day. That was decided upon. And Snuffy gets hungry. And I apologize. I don't know why my camera is autofocusing so much, but it is. I might have to just turn the autofocus off. Am I tired of snow yet? Darren, I am so sick of snow. I want it to go away so badly. Even more so than being tired of the snow, I'm more tired of how cold it is. If I could deal with the snow if it weren't so frigid. Like, you understand, you're also in Kentucky, but it is so... WP, what's going on? Cheers to you as well. Hope you're doing all right. But it is so daggum cold right now. And I mean, it's only going to get colder, too. Which I'm... is it going to brick my camera? Did it really brick my camera? You've got to be kidding me. Hang on. This is why I can't change anything in the middle of stream. It's fine. Everything's fine. We're an audio medium mostly anyway. There we go. We're back. Sorry about that. I'm not gonna mess with the camera settings right now. I don't wanna deal with that. But yeah, we haven't quite bottomed out on temperature yet. At least here in Lexington. I believe the low tomorrow is supposed to be 0, which means the wind chill is probably going to be worse than that, which cannot wait. Just cannot wait for that. So excited. Anyway, we're going to keep trudging along here because I'm ready for a drink. I'm ready to find out what's going on with these whiskeys. I'm actually very excited about the Bulleit Bottled and Bond. Very, very excited to see what's going on here. I heard some good things about it. Tried not to be swayed by anything one way or another. Excuse me. My goodness. Love the label. Absolutely think the label's beautiful. As always, it's their Frontier whiskey bottle. Super dope. 100 proof, of course, because it is bottled and bond. This is from the 2017 distillation season. So it is 7 years old, I believe. Distilled by Bulleit Frontier Whiskey in Shelbyville, Kentucky, and bottled in Bardstown, Kentucky. But anyway, let me double check on the MSRP here, because I cannot. I grabbed it and I was $55. There we go. It's a great label. I think I have it nearby. Yeah. I'm going to put it up at least against the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond as well. I'm just curious how they compare. Price is $55. Which I think, all things considered, is not that bad. It's more expensive than the 7-year Bottled and Bond from Heaven Hill, which is about $40. Roughly 40. So, comparatively, it's kind of in the same ballpark, but a hair bit more. But we'll talk about that more once we actually get to the comparison of both whiskeys side by side. But color's not bad. When it's directly against like an LED light, it's got a little bit more of a honey color to it, a little bit more coppery than what's kind of showing up in the camera. The camera's kind of showing it as a little bit more of a caramel. Legs are a little bit light. Sugar Kitty, hello. It's good to see you. Trying to let it warm up just a hair, too. For anybody who doesn't understand the geography of my office or my studio, however you want to describe it, I'm in my basement. And my desk is directly against a wall. So I am basically right up against cold, hard ground. So when it's very cold outside, it is very cold inside here too. So trying to keep this a little bit warmer, but Kyle Whipper got a space heater down there somewhere. But the problem with that and being on a mic on a live stream or recording a podcast, it can be loud. It can be obnoxious. So it kind of defeats the purpose. And I don't have a noise gate. I don't have a noise gate program. on my computer outside of like recording software. I need to get one though. Nose is very interesting. The best way, music guy has no noise gate. I mean, I have noise gates on in like my editing software, but just like live to, you know, live to tape. Like when I record, I don't put a noise gate on because I'd rather do all that in post. My character has been assassinated by you, Kyle Whippert, nonstop the past couple of days. I have no idea how to podcast. No, it's all good, brother. It's good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. But there's this like twanginess on the nose. It's kind of not maybe a little bit like sour. I've been roasting you nonstop. Dude, don't worry. It's all good. I can handle it. It's also been very funny. There is a big, bright citrus note on the nose, too. A like hint of brown sugar, too. I don't hate the nose by any means. I'm just like, I'm a little. Am I confused or am I like, what am I missing? I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's happening. Unceremoniously just went for the first sip. Hang on. Where's my water? There you are. Oh, that finish is nice. Immediately kills it with water. I don't know. I don't know what to make of this. It's got a really good mouthfeel. The finish is very nice. The finish is where a lot of the flavor starts to become present. But up front, it's a little light. Maybe an old-fashioned or a paper plane. It is kind of giving this, like, it needs to be utilized in a different scenario than just being drank neat. Also, John, very good to see you. I hope you're doing well. I apologize for not saying hello to you. I don't think it's got enough body for an old-fashioned. A paper plane might actually be what it's better suited for. Find a good way to say I don't think this is very good. It could be my palate's not acclimated yet. This is my very first drink of the day. I'm very much, and it is getting better the longer that I'm drinking on it. I will say that much. It's getting not $55 good. WP. You hit the nail on the head. This is $35 to $40 good. Bottled and bond bourbon. It is not $55 good. At least by my immediate estimation. I will say, though, that I am liking it more and more as it is opening up. Whether it's in the glass, whether, you know, the fresh crack was not doing it any favors, whether it was the fact that, you know, this was my first drink of the day. But I will also say this. I keep getting disappointed by Bulleit. I've been getting disappointed by Bulleit a lot recently. I don't remember exactly what. I think it was batch 8 of the barrel strength that I reviewed a few months back. And I just was so unimpressed by it that it pissed me off. The mythical neck pour. Yeah. Let me explain something, though, with the Bulleit bottle. It doesn't go all the way up to the neck. It was below the neck. It was a shoulder pour. Which you feel like you're not getting what you paid for. It's a conspiracy. I don't know. Yeah, it might just need more time. Might be a neck pour if you play just the tip with the cork hole. What are you trying to say here, John? That's funny. I have a single barrel from them that is great, and I like the 12-year rye. Outside of that, my enjoyment for Bulleit products is few and far between. Also, Matt Porter, Mr. ADHD Whiskey. Dude, it is good to see you. I miss the crap out of you. I hope you're doing well. Please come see me soon. Out here slumming with the peasants. I know. With his hundreds of views on his live streams and thousands of views on his tens of thousands of views on his videos. Sometimes hundreds. Here I am doing this for 7 years, and where is everybody? Matt Madness this year? I thought that was the plan, dog. Yes, absolutely, please. Yes. Please say yes. Absolutely. The Portuguese got to make another trip to Kentucky? Yes. I'm currently watching the first year of Matt Madness. Oh, the first year was awesome. I royally screwed up in the second year. Just completely bombed it. But I am down for Matt Madness this year. Tell me the time, tell me the place. I will be a part of it. I have a proposition for you on the flip side of that. The first year was chaotic and beautiful. It absolutely was. Back to this Kyle's comment about Bulleit as well. Their single barrels, I mean, everything that Bulleit has done up until this bottle was sourced. So the single barrels that they had, some of them were Brown Foreman, some of them were Four Roses. There's just so many different things that they could have been. And so their quality was going to be dependent on the distilleries that they were coming from. And if you like the profiles of those distilleries, more than likely you're going to like those single barrels. Same thing with the 12-year rye. Presumably, yeah, it's the same 95.5 rye that they were using for their standard rye. And if that's the case, I mean, that was already a great, MGP 12-year for sure. That was already a great whiskey. So naturally, I feel like it was going to be even better as a 12-year whiskey. I've still not had it. I need to. I was hoping to find a bottle, and I just kind of like... Anyway. I do love this. Mad Madness 2025, where he just shows up to someone's live stream and they have to rip it right then. I would die. I would love that so much. Just finished the I Whiskey She Wines versus Drums and Drams episode with the Four Roses Bulleit controversy. I remember that. That was a fun time. Simpler times, my friend. Simpler times. I'll just bring it next time we have a Chad the Gathering. Chadwick the Gathering? Yes, please. Please, please. I was trying to see if he was doing anything on Sunday, and he's busy. Yeah, so my overall thoughts on this. I do genuinely like this more than when I first tried it. It's gotten better. I'm going to pour a little bit more because I do, again, want to compare it to the Heaven Hill 7-year. But it's not completely blowing me away. There is a really nice brown sugar cinnamon note with just a hint of like maple syrup that I'm really enjoying. I mean, as somebody who loves dark flavors on bourbon, who know those blends would take so long? Amateur, yeah. That really does scratch an itch for me. But there isn't a whole lot of balance. There's not much in the way of like a rye mintiness or a citrus note that's helping to counterbalance with some of the darker flavors. And for anybody who doesn't know the way that Bulleit distills their whiskeys, they have adopted the same practice that Four Roses has, which is they have two different mash bills, one high rye, one lower rye. It's not exactly a low rye. And they have 5 different yeast strains. So they have 10 recipes. So for them to have 10 recipes, I don't think that this really showcases balance in the same way that something like a Four Roses small batch, or even just Four Roses yellow label, beige label, whatever, does. Where you are taking multiple, or even in the case of Four Roses yellow label, you're taking all 10 recipes, or small batch where it's, I think, 6 recipes, and blending them and showing that there's more to be had than just the sum is greater than its parts, or whatever, Gestalt theory. Anyway, I just think that, like, the general consensus that I'm getting at with it is good, not great. I'd like to see more balance. This is a very interesting. I'm happy to have this bottle as, like, the first bottling of their whiskey, their distillate. But in the end, I just wanted more. I wanted more from it. But it's not terrible. It's definitely not terrible. I wish it were cheaper based on what's going on. $55 seems to be a lot. So, with that in mind, let's give it a little side-by-side. I'm interested to see how they develop, as blenders blending their own product. I agree. I completely agree. Comparing it side by side with the Heaven Hill 7-year bottled and bond. So I'm going to go right into the Heaven Hill. Actually, I'm going to take a sip of water first. I'd like to see them not utilize the exact same formula as Four Roses small batch because we already have small batch at home. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think that there'd be no point in it. Even if they did, like, literally the opposite, it would be more interesting than just a hey, let me copy your homework. Okay, but change it a little bit so it doesn't look like you copied. I would be curious in seeing them doing some kind of innovation with this for a brand that is called Frontier Whiskey. There's not a lot of frontier that they're actually covering. Hot take, I know. Anyway. Imagine giving us B blends and E blends or something. Oh, that would be fun. I'd be totally down for that. See, right off the bat, right off the rip, I do like the phrase off the rip better. Or at least I really have been enjoying it recently. There's more balance, there's more character to the Heaven Hill. And I tell you what I'm going to do. While I'm doing this, just in case the town branch also needs some time to open up. Wow, okay. Well, all of the paper was just going to rip off there. I'm going to open it. I'm going to pour it. And we'll come back to it. I saw more Heaven Hill Grain to Glass weeded at Total Wine today. Nice. Yeah, also at 10 to 15 less. But, you know, I don't particularly remember doing backflips over the Heaven Hill 7-year bottle and bond when it first came out. And a lot of that probably was colored by the fact that they took away my Sweet Baby 6-year $13 bottled and bond that was Kentucky only. If you don't know of that era, if you don't remember those days, talk about taking a time in your life for granted. Where some of the best whiskey was just sitting on the shelf, border dipped quicker than Patches O'Houlihan. It was something that we all took for granted. It just all took the 6-year bottled and bond for granted. And as soon as we started hearing, it must be more sterile than Patches. As soon as we started hearing Bernie Lubbers say it's a bourbon business, not a bourbon charity, it was like, we might be in trouble here. And then we started cherishing it too late. And then it started disappearing. We started hearing that things were going to change. And sure enough, they done changed. But it's fine. I mean, in hindsight, like, again, we didn't enjoy that period enough. I bought plenty of those bottles. I've still got a couple in my collection. But I will say that I am pleased with what we have now. I don't think that it's a bad replacement. I think it's just, you know, of course I would prefer a $13 6-year bottle and bond. I mean, that was crazy. That was crazy. But anyway, color is almost identical, to be honest with you. The noses are so different. There's a butterscotch note on the Bulleit that I was not picking up on before. Whereas, again, the Heaven Hill is so much more balanced. I don't know if I have any more bottles of the 2-year, or excuse me, the Green Label. I think all my Green Label might be gone by now. It was great too, though. I think the Green Label the first or the last to go. I don't remember. It was so funny, though, when the Green Label 6-year, the 90 proof, started disappearing, and people were catching, wind of it being discontinued, and it was going on secondary for $30 a bottle, $40 a bottle, and I was like, dude, come on. What are you doing? Last, because I never saw the 6-year. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, what the Heaven Hill is lacking in its in that big dark note that the Bulleit has, it definitely is making up for in balance. 100%. There is I'm starting something is I'm starting to get flashes of something that the Bulleit is reminding me of with this like butterscotch bomb. And I cannot think of what it is. Dude, what is it? You know what I would like to do? Because I've never once. I just had this thought. Also, I want to bring something up in a second too that is the most niche thing in the world. Not in the world, but it's very funny. I would like to do a Maker's Private Select where I do the right combination of staves to get a butterscotch note. I've never gotten butterscotch on a Maker's product before. Tony Bag of Donuts, what's going on? I hope you're well, brother. Hope you're enjoying Chile. I'm sure it's still nice and warm down there too. So, last night I had I'm assuming because it's pretty often that there are a lot of whiskey drinkers or whiskey tube people who are also enjoyers of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And it's not that I like recently watched It's Always Sunny, because there's not a new season out or anything. But I had a dream last night. I texted this to Eric this morning too. I had a dream last night that I was at Patty's. It's Bourbon Night Maker's Pick. The Butterscotch Effect? Really? I've never tried that one before. I'll have to try it. It's not like I wasn't just over at Chad and Sarah's house on Sunday, too. Dang, that's so frustrating. I was just there. Anyway, I was at Patty's and I just started blasting. Yeah. No, I had this dream last night that I was at Patty's. And Mac, Dennis, and Charlie were singing a song called Boss Bitch. And it was like Boss Bitch. Da, 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 da. And I was there for like the whole song. And it was literally just like it was from an episode. I have no idea where my brain came up with it. And like Charlie was on keys like he normally is. Dennis was just kind of off to the side doing backup vocals. Mac was singing lead, and he had a harmonica solo. Let's link up and rewrite your fever dream. Absolutely. And Mac's dad was also part of the band too, and he was playing triangle, and he had that like insane grin. Like if you've seen It's Always Sunny, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But just in context of It's Always Sunny, it doesn't make sense that Mac's dad was there. But it was so funny. And like Mac having a harmonica solo in the middle of it too. Oh, it was just one of the most ridiculous things. And I have no idea why my brain came up with this. I don't know. It was so good, and it was so like in character for the show. Anyway. Yeah. So that's how my subconscious wrote a story beat for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I even knew like I woke up and I was like, I can still like, it was last night. I woke up and I had the song in my head. And like I can still remember at least the melody of it and everything. I know exactly what key it was in. It's ridiculous. It's so dumb. Between these two, back to the whiskey, sorry. Between these two, I'm 100% going to have to go with the Heaven Hill. I mean, it's just the more developed of the two products. And it's cheaper. And it's not to say that there isn't like some merit to the Bulleit by any means, but we are going to find out what a blend of the two tastes like. We're going to do that in a little bit. Oh, I was actually on It's Bourbon Nights live stream this week, too, for anybody who missed it. I refereed with My Daily Bourbon. I cannot remember the melody for the Patty's Pub song, but I do love that. Yeah, go watch the Bourbon Bowl 7. It was a lot of fun. It was one of the best ones so far. Anyway, so I also, as I was picking up my bottle of Bulleit, was glancing around the shelf and I saw the Town Branch Overproof 4-barrel Kentucky Straight Whiskey. at 104 proof. I have not seen a review of this. I have not ever tried this. It is a blend of 4 styles of Kentucky straight whiskey. It's 70% Kentucky straight bourbon, 10% wheated bourbon, 10% double oak whiskey. I know, right, Kyle? And 10% Kentucky straight rye. Again, it comes out to 104 proof. Don't know what the age is. It's at least 2 years old, though. Or I guess 4. Since it's straight and it doesn't have an age statement anywhere on it. But, yeah. I have not bought anything Town Branch in so long. So long. It's not exactly my go-to brand. But they have started to like change around some of their practices. I know that they're changing up the way that they blend their bourbons. They're doing like 5 and Town Branch got that fool me once type whiskey. But they I'm done, bro. I'm done. That's too perfect. But they're supposed to be doing like, I think it's 5 and 7 or 5 and 8 year old blends now for their bourbon. I think is the new meta. But we'll see how that holds up. We'll see. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice. So we'll see. We'll see. It's funny that it's called Overproof at 104. I don't quite understand the naming of it. Maybe we could do a little bit of research together. Hang on. Okay. It means literally overproof, aka 100. That's stupid. It's designed to enhance cocktails with concentrated flavors, providing body texture and structure. Pairs well with most meats, especially beef. Also pairs well with mushrooms, truffles, and anything else with an earthy flavor. Dessert pairings with notes of nuts and caramel are ideal. Oh, I should have gotten some bourbon barrel ale to pair it with. That would have been fun. All right. Who y'all got in the hockey sports ball puck game tonight? Mike Green. Good to see you. I'm just nervous, okay? I'm nervous. Probably Canada though. I mean USA. But probably Canada's probably gonna, They're probably going to sweep it or whatever. Isn't that how you play the hockey ball? You sweep it. Overproof rums are usually super high proof. Yeah, exactly. What's the one overproof rum? There we are, Plantation. I've got this guy. I don't know where this bottle is, but I have it. And I love it. It's a great... Oop. We're coming up dry. What's happening? Artisanal rum? What is that, 138 proof? I gotta find that bottle. I need to figure out where it is. Anyway. All right, let's enough of the whatever it's called. They changed their name to Plantaray or something? Really? Oh, because of the implications? It's a very candy-y nose. It's very candy forward. Because of the implications, indeed. There we go. It's fine. I've made a huge mistake. Fooled twice. This is not very good. Sorry. I don't mean to just come right out and say it. It's got the medicinal cherry note, but it's medicinal cherry in a cream savor. It's making my tongue numb. Why is it making my tongue numb? I don't care for that. I don't want to go to there. It tastes like a bad finish. They got that Prohibition whiskey profile on lock, perfect for sore throats. I do have a little bit of a sore throat. I think it's because of how cold it's been, but this ain't doing it, man. This is not it. Ugh. It's kind of got a like a pong to it too, like a funk. Okay, well, I think that's enough of that. I'm good. That's $35. That $35 I'm not getting back anytime soon. See, here's the thing. Here's my soapbox taste. At least they got the barrel ale. That is true. That's completely true. I do love like 98% of the beers that come out of Town Branch, out of Kentucky Ale, Alltech, whatever you want to call it. I want to love Town Branch. I want to absolutely love Town Branch. They're out of Lexington, my hometown, also where I live, of course. And they just have always let me down. I have always been disappointed. I've always felt like there's something missing. I never once have done a backflip. This is what we Lexingtonians say. It's exactly what we say. I want to be proud of like every Lexington distillery, every Lexington, NDP, whatever that we have. And I feel like Town Branch could be the biggest one. I want to love it so bad. I want to love it so bad. I really do, though. Like, I am in complete agreement with you, Kyle. It's just that nothing ever. See, and there was that one like malt whiskey that Swan had that we tried. I mean, I've had multiple times, and it's always been good. I mean, it was like the best thing I've ever had from them. I think it was a sherry cask finish malt. And it was the Tony B. Oh, Tony Benavides. From way down Florida way. Tony Joey. Tony B, I hope you're doing well, buddy. Good to see you. What's new? What's cracking? What's happening? Man, hang on. They could be an ASM brand, and I'd fully back that. It's in their DNA, so they may as well just go for it. I agree. And their portfolio is so deep, too. But also, what are you doing starting out with the Maple Barrel Stout Bourbon as your first product on your page? Start with the bourbon. True cask straight bourbon. And then you've got single barrel reserve bourbon. Is the difference that one's not cask strength? No, they're both cask strength. Dude, they've got to overhaul this line. It is so confusing. That's so craft beer of them. So many Tonys. That's how I was with Cedar Ridge as a native Iowan. Their standard 3-year-old was so bad, I've still never tried another from them. I haven't had anything Cedar Ridge in so long. The last time I did, I almost threw up. I mean, I'm being dramatic, but you know what I mean. 7-year single malt. Single barrel reserve single malt. 11-year cask strength single malt. Like, the vision is there. Oh, I don't think I knew that the Hay Penny Rhubarb was... Because this is okay. Bluegrass Sundown is a good coffee liqueur. I've not had it. This gin is a bright, silky, crisp profile and fresh rhubarb finish. This is pretty good, though. I like gin. So, if you're interested in gin. Pour that shit over ice cream. And I've never had their Irish whiskey. I would love to try their Irish whiskey, but I don't want to spend the money on it. Is the problem. Like, I'm sure that their Irish whiskey is probably where they shine, especially considering how good their single malts are. Look at how dark this rye is in these pictures. But I'm not about to just blindly go in and buy. I've got to figure out the true difference between the true cask and. Okay, let's put our sleuthin' caps on here. Okay, tell the professor in the background hi for me. He seems preoccupied. Mike, talk to you later, brother. I'm scared it's just sourced from one of the 2 operating distilleries in Ireland. It could be. Being slightly negative, but still. I mean, I completely understand what you're saying. I gotta get rid of this. Why is my name up? I don't understand. All right. Let's take a look at the difference between true cask bourbon and single barrel reserve bourbon. True cask bourbon embodies attention to detail at every level of production, from distillation, mash bill, yeast, fermentation, and cooperage, to the final small batch blend of uncut, straight from the barrel whiskey, individually batch numbered to capture the purity of flavors each cask strength barrel provides to each blend. Okay, so it's their Elijah Craig barrel proof. But true cask has the implication of a single barrel cask strength. So we've cracked the code, everybody. We've done it. What an amazing job we did. Finding out together what the what the answer was there. Oh boy. We've done it. All right, and now I'm going to try the blend of the Bulleit and the Heaven Hill. 7-year. Bottled and bonds. Now that doesn't smell like a bottled and bond 7-year bourbon. And it absolutely does not taste like it either. Holy crap. First of all, it tastes closer to 10 years. Second of all, it's got it has what feels like more proof to it. That's crazy. That is. All right, so here's the deal. If you're going to buy Bulleit Bottled and Bond, also buy a bottle of Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. Make sure you've got an empty handle of anything. And just blend those two bottles together, and you're going to have the perfect Bottled and Bond bourbon. This is excellent. This is the $90 meta. Dude, if I had just like unlimited dollars, that would be my new that'd be my new go-to. Tips and bits. Tips and bits. Buy a bottle of each and blend it together that way. It sucks. I mean, but I again love the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond on its own. But I mean, the again, Gestalt theory. The whole is greater than the sum of its parts. That is so good. Truly, truly just elevated everything. Where's that Heaven Hill? That's probably what, like 275 mils, 300? Whatever that is. I'm kind of tempted to take the rest of that and just blend it with an equal amount of the Bulleit. And just have it around. And just have it. And surprise people with it. I'm just like, I'm frustrated with how good that is because of the way that I would have to go about doing this. Do it? Oh no, I am going to do it, Kyle. That's the thing. What I'll probably do is I'll probably take like 100 mils of each and blend it that way. So I still have enough of the Heaven Hill because I don't, you know, I'm blowing through my whiskey budget recently. I'm being careless with my whiskey budget is what I mean. So I still want to have some of the Heaven Hill around. That being said, though. Why don't we do that? Why don't we do that right now? Because I'm sure I have. Bum, bum, bum. All right, what are you? You are 200 mils. You bought a bunch of store picks lately? I have. Okay. Here's a 100 ml bottle. Here's a 100 ml bottle. Max B, what's going on? Good to see you, brother. Hope you're doing well. To catch you up, Town Branch Overproof, no good. Bulleit Bottled and Bond is fine. Okay. So there's 100 mils of the Bulleit. This is fun. I'm having fun. Are you having fun? I hope you are. There's 100 mils of the Heaven Hill. I'm having fun. Thanks for checking in. I'm glad. But you're still not having any fun. Name the movie. I don't know what movie that is. Okay. And now I have my boy, it really seems I've really been acting like I'd done something here, huh? I really been acting like I'd done something revolutionary here. I took 2 whiskeys that have been blended by somebody at a major distillery, at 2 major distilleries, and I blended them into a separate little bottle. Boy, we done gone and revolutionized the entire industry, haven't we, folks? I love the energy. This is great. All right, we got a first-time commenter on Twitch from Lupa, and I don't understand that language. Salud, comment. Hi, how are you? Oh, I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. That's so kind of you. I hope you're doing well. This seems like it's going to be spam, but thanks for being here. Did you follow? Hey, you followed. Thank you for the follow. What are you doing? I'm having a great time. Wow, thank you, Kyle, for not helping me with pronunciation. I did not take French. I took Spanish. But I'm doing great, Lupa. I'm blending up a sample or a crazy little blend of 2 different bottled and bond bourbons. Am I a musician? I am a musician. It looks like I'm living in a basement. I'm not living in my basement. This is just my office. But, yeah. Also, Jake Miller poured my first drink in 8 weeks and chose Jack Daniel's Cast Strength Rye. 65% hits hard. Oh, dude. Oh, dude. I thought it was Covfefe. Jake Miller, way to ease in. I love it. There should be a challenge where you have to make the best blend with using at least 10% Malort. Oh, that would be awesome. I would love that. But no, Lupa, I am not living in my basement. This is my office and my studio. But yeah, welcome to the stream. I'm here every Thursday night at 7 Eastern. My name's Perry, by the way. I'm the host of This Is My Bourbon Podcast. And yeah, thanks so much for coming along for the ride. Emily Chambers, thank you so much for being here. And there we go. Got our Bulleit in Heaven Hill Bottom and Bond blend. And now I can enjoy separately, but also together. What an interesting stream this has been. I'm a host of Timbip. I mean, that's fair. But according to my headline, on StreamYard, it says host of Timbip. I don't remember if I put that there. I don't know if StreamYard did that for me automatically. But either way. Do we lose Lupa? Lupa was upset that I wasn't living in my basement and that I was actually living in a house. I'm poking the pearberry. Lupa's gone on to, I don't know. Maybe they went to Ludwig's chat or something. I don't know. Ludwig from video games. I'm going to open another bottle. The original host of Timbip? Exactly. I am the host. He's watching a Fortnite streamer now. Who's streaming? I wonder who's streaming Fortnite right now. On the homepage, Clicks is the one who's streaming Fortnite. So maybe he went to go watch Clicks. I don't know. Understandable. Have a nice day moment from Lupa. Yeah. I want to play Madden. Papa Ritter wants to play Madden. Yeah. It's just so funny that Lupa's last comment was, "It looks like you living in a basement, dude." And my response was, "I'm literally not." And they're like, "All right, fair." And they pieced. There's nothing funnier than Twitch chatters who are like, "You got me." And then they're like, I'm done. I never played Fortnite, but I know there was a Fortnite Hall of Fame made recently, and Ninja was not the first person in. Who was the first person? Who was the first person? That's so funny that Ninja was not the first. Dane was the first. There's no. We don't talk about this, man. Ugh. It would be funny if Dane was the first person in. I don't know if Dane's ever played Fortnite. I'm going to crack a little bottle of Old Root 8. 8 years old, 130.4 proof. He was mad, not sure the ones that made it in. I don't think he has. Yeah, I'm not sure he has either. I haven't. I don't touch the stuff. I've never played I don't even know what a Fortnite is. They made a game out of a 2-week period. It was a tribute section for top streamers over Fortnite history, and Ninja was never mentioned. That is hysterical. Yeah, I don't recognize any. I mean, it's not like I again ever watch Fortnite streams. Wait. I don't know. I don't know. I'll have to look into it at a different time because I don't really know if I'm looking in the right spot. Is that cigarette? Yeah. I like smaller streamers who build actual communities with their followers. I mean, there are some big streamers who do still too. But I mean, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. I mean, this is, you know, do I always have the like aspirations of increasing the size of the community? Yeah, absolutely I do. But it's bourbon has the benefit of being so niche that it will never reach the size of like, you know, I mean, again, let's look at here. The home. Okay, so on the home page, the top 4 people on Twitch: Jinxie, Hassan, Clicks, and Summit. Jinxie has 28.9, Hassan has 29,000, Clicks has 11.4, and Summit has 12.8. I guarantee you that all of them know people who are in their community who have watched them for a long time. But, you know, there's only so much that they can do in terms of like building a community. That being said, too, I mean, nobody's ever going to get to a Hassan level where, you know, he's streaming for 8 hours a day and, you know, no bourbon streamer is ever going to get to that point where he's streaming for 8 hours a day and people are watching them drink whiskey for that long. You know what I mean? That'd be crazy. Fortnite is when the parents let me take off the sheets from the bed and sleep in the living room under the fort you made out of the couch. I watched Croton when he had 12 viewers, then he hit 7,000 and I lost interest in the streams. Yeah, word of mouth, absolutely. Anyway, I mean, there's levels to it, and you know, you can't you. There are different niches for everything too. If the bourbon streamer does that, they'll be in rehab in week 2. Yeah, I mean, I would love to stream every day. I would love for Timbip to be my day job. But whiskey socials are just so niche. Yeah, of course. 8-hour drinking streams for a living, challenge accepted. Yeah. There would be a lot of there would be a lot of spittoons involved. That is a tobacco and leather forward nose. Alcohol-related content is impossible to monetize, Jake. That's the other thing, too. Like, you can't... It's very, very difficult. Like, most alcohol-related content on YouTube... there would be a lot of divorces too. Alcohol-related content, as far as like running ads, like it mostly gets demonetized, or it's just not eligible for a lot of ads on YouTube. So you have to like take sponsorships in a lot of cases. You know, and YouTube is always changing up their meta. They're always changing up the way that they run ads and the way that they support creators. Unless you bruisel it is, yeah. But that's a completely different topic. There was a time when Scotch Down Under was on 5 times a week, and he does 8 hours at a clip all the time. That's crazy. But, you know, again, like, those... At least, like, most of those people who are on the top... The front page of Twitch, like, that's their living. You know, that's their day job. That's how they make their money. That's how they support their families. That's how they pay their mortgages. So I have a day job that's separate from doing bourbon content. Scotch Down Under still married? I'm sure they are. I'd hate to be so accessible for 8 hours a day, so respect to streamers for relying on such a volatile cash flow. I mean, the people who are streaming for 8 hours a day they're so built for it. And they are so willing to accept a lot of that, like, people are going to constantly put you under a microscope. And they are going to constantly bash you for any kind of anything you say, anything you do. Even if they do agree with you, there's going to be some nuance that they find fault in, you know? But yeah, I've got a lot of respect for the people who, you know, stream 8 hours a day and that's their day job. It's, you know, it's crazy. That's a lot of stress to basically perform, to be on a stage for a day job the entire time. Twitch also takes half off the top, then you pay taxes on the other 50%. Yeah. Ken is happily married, and she is the one. She is on the streams often for about an hour, but then Ken does not do that anymore. Ken is a remote IT guy. The biggest streamers also get a lot more for their sponsors due to the reach and time live. It's not necessarily easy. Yeah. Yeah. It's not anything where, like, if you are, I don't know. It's also not anything that's like easy to break into either, you know? The way to do it, if you want to go part-time content creator, get a YouTube following with uploads and stream on Twitch with an audience. Yeah. I mean, that's how I want to do it. The Metamucil is going to hit at some point. Yeah. I mean, ideally, like, I would love to stream on Twitch more. Kyle, I mean, that's the thing that, like, we were talking about that Chad and I were talking about on the podcast this week too, is that, like, there are so many kids who, when asked, were asked what do you want to do when you grow up, and they were basically saying, oh, I want to be an influencer, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be a streamer, I want to, you know, that kind of thing. And it's like, you know, a lot of people go, oh, that's crazy, I can't believe that you would say that. But, like, I think, like, at first the shock value of that is completely reasonable, but I'm not entirely inclined to believe that we didn't have, as, like, a society, the same reaction when the advent of celebrities or movie stars was upon us. You know what I mean? Because at that time, you know, there were kids who were probably saying up to that point, when asked, what do you want to be when you grow up? You know, police officers, or, you know, baseball players, or doctors, nurses, whatever. And then, you know, big movies were happening, and then they said, oh, I want to be a movie star, I want to be on Broadway or whatever. And then, you know, everybody was going, I can't believe that you would ever want to say that. And here we are with the advent of a different kind of celebrity, or a different kind of pop culture idol, which is a streamer or a video game idol, video game, whatever. And, you know, kids are shifting their focus to that because that's where a lot of their entertainment comes from. And so many people are like, why on earth would you ever, you know, aspire to something like that? And it's like, that's just where their entertainment comes from now. That's what they see as popular. I mean, you know, we cannot deny that streamers have influence when somebody like Kai Cenat is getting commercial deals with T-Mobile alongside Snoop Dogg. Like, the influence is very evident, and it's not going away. Didn't third grade girls in the 90s want to be Disney princesses? It's not weird for kids to be want to be what they can't. Exactly. And it's not to say that, like, girls don't still want to be princesses too. Like, my oldest daughter still wants to be a princess, man. Like, that's not abnormal still. That's not an abnormal or out of scope, take. It's just, I think the other half of this too, is that we have a tendency to hyper focus on the things that we perceive as abnormal. So when somebody says something like, "Oh, I want to be the thing that you are not used to somebody saying they want to be," people are going to react more heavily to that. And that's what we're experiencing right now. That's and it's not to say that, yes, there is still like a large amount of kids, a large amount of children who are saying like, "Oh, I want to be a streamer, I want to be a YouTuber, I want to be somebody who plays video games for a living," because there are, but we're still putting so much emphasis on those kids when we're not, realizing that there are still kids that we would like perceive as like normal kids. So the pendulum swings both ways, in my view. And Eden is a princess. Eden acts like a princess constantly, for better or worse. Anyway. All the time. This Old Route 8 is crazy. I'm having a hard time pinpointing where I think it's from. Because the last one I had was from Beam. And it was very obviously from Beam. But this is not. That's why she's the best, of course. This is not this is not Beam forward, I would say. It's honestly got more like Brown Foreman vibes to it. More like Woodford. Woodford. Yeah, more Barton. No, honestly, like not Barton. More like it reminds me more of like an Old Forester barrel. But it could be Barton. Show the bottle again. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I could be completely off. Who? Dang it. Who to say? Does this present itself like that Beam single barrel, though? No, it does not. Because that Beam single barrel had all of that, like, black pepper that Chad and I were talking about. This just simply does not at all. It's sweet. It's got a dark oak presence to it as well. There's like a black pepper. Yeah, it's very uncharacteristic for anything that I would normally have gotten from an Old Route 8 from an Augusta single barrel. It definitely does not drink like it's 130 proof either, which is dangerous. Black pepper, yum. There's just so many options with that 2-word jingle. Or those 2 words that could fit into a jingle. $23 flavors, black pepper. Oh, man. I love it. Anyway. That's about all I got for tonight, I believe. My favorite ice cream flavor, black pepper. I'm not going to say what I was just about to say. I was about to put some words together that didn't need to be combined. Anyway, folks, it's been a great stream. It's been chaotic energy. It's been absolutely perfect outside. Shelf turd starting next, followed by the Cliffy Bus. I've got a cigar and some Obtainium to keep me company. I love the summer. That must be nice. From 23 flavors. Yeah, of course. We'll be back next week. I'm not sure what I'll be doing next week, but either way, thank you all for being here this week, for being here tonight. You guys are the best as always. Go watch some hockey. USA, USA, USA. See you real soon. Have a good week. Have a good evening. I love you. Be good. Be safe. Be kind to each other. Till then, though, I'm Perry. This is Tim Bye. Bye.